All right, everyone, it's 10:30, starting the Monarch Social Opportunity webinar. Thank you for joining if you can, if you were able to make it, and let's get started. So my name is Brandon Berger. I'm owner and co-founder of Monarch Social. What Monarch Social, what this webinar is about is what Monarch Social is and how working with us can benefit you. And it's also to get you beginners training, to get you out in the field and making money as early as today. Now, our main goal here is to make money. That's why we're in business, is to make money. So don't be ashamed or anything if I talk about money a lot, because that's what we're here to do. And and I'm sure that's why you're joining in on the webinar. So let's get into it. Monarch Social is a multi-level marketing company. We are 3 levels deep, which means you get paid 3 levels deep. If you look at the slide right here, this top square represents you. Now, all we ask is that you hire 5 people. That's all we ask of you. You get paid off of these 5 people, but then all you got to do is ask them to hire 5 people. This row represents 25 people. You get paid off of those 25 people too. And then again, we ask everybody, just bring in 5. You can bring in more if you want. Obviously, it makes you more money. 5 can make you a lot of money as well. If everybody gets 5 and everybody does what they're supposed to do, you can make a lot of money. This represents 125 people. Now you're getting paid on 155 people, something like that. Eventually you don't have to do any sales anymore. And that's the whole point of the multi-level marketing structure, is that you can start living your life instead of working to live. You instead of working to make a living, you're living. That's bottom line. Now, difference between us and other multi-level marketing structures, I know probably turned a lot of you off by saying we're an MLM, but the biggest difference between us and people like It Works and Amway and Advocare and things like that is that there is no buy-in. Guys, there is no buy-in. All we ask that you do is you make 30 sales before you start hiring other people, and you'll be good to go. We just ask that you do 30 sales so that you can get an idea for the idea of the company, how to make sales and stuff like that before you start training other people. I'll help with the training. Obviously, your sponsor can help with the training. But if you're able to go to your next level and help them train, the better it is. Like I said, with others, MLMs, it's very expensive to join. Even if you're selling a service like we are, you are usually have to pay for the training. We do all the training for free. We do webinars, we do video training, we give you all the slide decks that you need to succeed. And remember, you're only needing to make 30 sales really before you start having other people make the sales for you. And when you're making 30 sales, the residual income on that starts compounding. Okay, so we do give you residual income. So that means every month off of every sale that you've ever made, as long as the customer is paying, you get paid every month. And we'll talk about that a little bit more in a second. Most MLMs, they give you a lump sum commission, or you have to buy a product to sell the product and you get what's ever left over. We just keep paying you. Okay. There's no product to buy. We do have a clear promotion pace. It's not confusing. There's 4 levels of Monarch Social. We'll talk about those in a second as well. It's not confusing at all. It's very clear, and it's based on earning. It's not based on anything else. We do business to business sales. So what does that mean? Why is that important? Because with other MLMs, they want you to start talking to your friends and family, start having parties at your house. We're not asking you to do that. We're asking you to go out and make a few sales. That's it. You don't have to bug any of your friends and family. You can if you want to. If they own a business and you think they can benefit from our from Monarch Social, from our service, then go ahead and sell it to them. And again, like I said, we are service-based product. If I haven't mentioned it yet, which I don't think I have, Monarch Social is a not a multi-level marketing. I already talked about that. We're a social media management and marketing company. So we help small to mid-sized businesses manage your social media and help them market on social media. That way they don't have to. A lot of small to mid-sized businesses think they have to do it on their own. They can't afford expert service to do it for them. Well, we make it affordable, and we actually help them make money with it. So like I said, no service, no product to buy. It's a service-based product, so there's nothing to lug around. We're not asking you to pay for anything up front. Like I said, you just sell yourself in. Once you make your first 30 sales, you're good to go. So what I want to talk about next is the difference between residual income and lump sum income. This graphic here represents a lump sum income, okay? With lump sum commission, basically what happens is you get the customer to pay the company, and then the company pays you, the sales rep, right? And then the next month, the customer pays the company, and the company just keeps all the money, and you don't get anything. Now, I know a lot of times the company will pay the sales rep like a lot more money, like $300 or $400 on a $40 a month service. But let's say you get $400 for a $48 a month service. What happens after month 10? The company is just making straight profit off of that, and you no longer make any money. Okay, so they front you 10 months worth, but it doesn't help you out in the long run. There is no residual income with that. And you still have to keep selling every month just to make ends meet, just to make money. You don't get that compounded effect, or you don't. It's hard to take a break or a vacation. Let's say you want to go out of town. You made a lot of money one month. Go out of town. You don't make any money the next month with lump sum commission. That's why we use residual income. And this is what it looks like. Customer pays the company. We pay the sales rep. And then every month after that, the customer pays the company and we pay the sales rep. As long as the customer is paying us, we pay you. And it doesn't change, and it just keeps stacking up on top of itself. So this next slide is pretty interesting. What I want to point out is that this is based on if you made $1,000 in sales, no matter what. Every month you made $1,000 in sales. Realistically, you'll make more than that in sales working with us, but this is just to have a nice even number. Okay, so let's talk about lump sum commission first. First month you make $1,000 in sales. Okay, the second month you make $1,000 in sales, and you keep $1,000 in sales. Third month the same, fourth month the same, fifth month, sixth month, it's all the same. Every month you make $1,000, you keep $1,000. The problem with that is that the company is still making money. The customer is still paying every month. So you're still just making $1,000. If you decide not to work this month, you made $0. Okay? With residual income, you on the first month make $1,000, right? In the second month, you sell and make another $1,000, but you get the $1,000 you made the first month as well. And then the third month, you make another $1,000 on top of the $2,000 you're already earning, and another $1,000 on top of the $3,000 you're already earning. By month 6, you're making $6,000, and guess what? The next month you could take off, and you still make $6,000. As long as the customer is paying, you get paid. So you don't have to even work a month to make money. Now, the even cooler part about that is that once you start building your team, you don't have to work at all, and they keep making sales for you, and you could start stacking that residual income. You still make money every month off of the people below you. So residual income, the way we do it that way, it's designed to make you rich quick. And I know it sounds stupid and probably turned off by that, but this is a get rich quick scheme, and it works. Residual income, the way it compounds is how it works. Now, remember I was talking about promotions and how clear the promotion pace is here. We're going to talk about that more right now. So promotions, like I said, we are Monarch Social, Monarch being the key word there. So we have 4 different types of royalty type names for our different levels. Okay, so we have Squire, that's what you start off as, that's what you are now, is 0 to 30 sales. So after your 30 sales, you get promoted. Okay, so it's pretty clear, right? After 30 sales, I get promoted. If you do 15 sales a month, after 2 months, you get promoted. Where in the world are you going to get promoted after 2 months? And know that you're going to get promoted after 2 months if you make 15 sales a month. 15 sales a month is not a lot, guys, and that's why I use that a lot. 20 sales a month is what we're aiming for. That's the goal. That's the average, about 18 to 22. So 20 is probably more the average. That's a sell a day if you're working, 5 days a week for a month. You're going to work hard for 2 months, make your 30 sales, and become a knight. Okay, with a knight, you don't necessarily get a pay raise, but you get to start hiring people below you to help you get a pay raise. Okay, you can still make sales on your own. Obviously, you make more money off the sales you make than the people below you. We'll talk about the pay structure a little bit more in a second. But if you hire 5 people a month and just keep them coming through and hiring them and training them and start getting them to make 15 sales a month, it'll start adding up real quick. Okay. Now, once you start making 10 grand a month, now 10 grand a month is 120 grand a year. Okay. Who wants to make 120 grand in their first year? You can start making 10 grand a month by month 3, month 4, month 5. It depends on how hard you want to hustle. So you can make 10 grand a month by month 3. Easy. But you just got to want it enough. And we'll talk about mindset a little bit more later. After you make 10K a month, after you're in that club, the 120 a year club, you become a knight of the golden chalice. Okay, so that's what this represents. And those are people anywhere from 120 to 8K, 80K rather. If you're making 80 grand a month, all right, 80 grand a month, that's $1 million a year. Who wants to make $1 million a year? I want to make $1 million a year, okay? 80K a month is $1 million a year. You can do that in your first year. You can start making 80K in your first year. Once you get there, you get promoted to Knight of the Golden Sword. And it sounds silly, but it is. It's fun. Basically, once every quarter, we're going to have a big meeting where everybody gets together. Once you get promoted to Knight, we'll knight you with a sword. It's going to be a lot of fun. And then once you get promoted to Knight of the Golden Chalice, you receive a chalice as part of the ceremony. And the same with the sword, you get a sword. It'll be a lot of fun. And like I said, we have those once a quarter. You can make as much money as you want, but every quarter, let's say you get promoted first month of the quarter. You make your 80K first month of the quarter. You're already considered a Knight of the Golden Sword. You just haven't had the ceremony yet, okay? Now let's talk about team building. Like I said, once you become a Knight, you can start building your own team. And like I said, we only ask that you get 5. If you get everybody to get 5, this is how much you can make a month, okay? This is your first month of having all your levels filled up. Now you're already making whatever you've been making before that, right, every month. But this is your first month of all your levels filled up, okay? Now, all your levels filled up with 5. Now think about that. Next month, you make 120 grand. And then the next month after that, you make 180 grand in 1 month. If you were making 180 grand in 1 month, how happy would you be? How many troubles that you have in your life right now would you not have anymore? If you could make, even if you made the 60K in 1 month. I know for me, I'm from the military. We get paid pretty well in the Army, but coming out of the Army, being able to not have to worry about money anymore, it's a very relieving feeling. It doesn't solve all your problems, but it sure makes it easier to cope with them. Next, I want to talk about the pay scale so that these numbers make sense. As you can see, if you fill up your first level with 5, you're making about 4K, 4,600 a month. If you fill it up to your second level, you start making a lot more money. You're getting paid off 25 reps. And then once you get to the third level, you're getting paid off 125 plus the 25. That's 150 plus another 5. You're getting paid a lot of money when you start making that 60K a month. So once you start building your team up after a few months of your reps going through and making and being knighted themselves, you'll start seeing that your levels start filling up. And once your levels start filling up, it's like an ATM machine. You'll just start printing money, basically. And it starts getting really, really fun. So we want to talk about the pay scale. Like I said, the pay scale, we're gonna start here with the U portion. And and we've changed the names of our services since then. The Premier is actually called the Social Butterfly now, and the Basic is called the Social Force. I don't even really remember what the name of the Preferred is now. We just changed them, but it's the same stuff. It's ranked from the top to the bottom. Oh, Social Rockstar. That's the middle one. Social Rockstar. This is how much you get paid off of every sale. Okay, so you make a sale for the Social Butterfly or the Premier, you make 120 bucks every month, month after month, as long as the customer's paying. Okay, if you make a sale on the Rockstar, you're making 90 bucks month after month, as long as the customer's paying, you get paid that 90 bucks. This is our most popular package. It's going to get sold the most, just because the price point is nice and they're still getting a lot for what they pay for. And we'll talk about product knowledge here in a little bit. I'm not going to talk about it during the webinar, but if you go to the training portal, which I'll show you how to get to here in a little while, I'll have the product knowledge slide up there, and I'm also going to make a video later about how product knowledge works, because I was getting asked about that. A lot of people weren't completely understanding it, so you should be able to get most of the product knowledge you need off of the slide, but I'll be able to go over it a little bit better on the video. And then every level that you get, every level that you start, people start making sales for you under, they get paid this, but you get paid that. Okay, so let's say level below you makes a sale, you get paid 60 bucks off of every sale that they make Social Butterfly on that one level below you. On the second level below you, make 48 bucks off of everyone. You can see how it can start adding up once you start having 25, 50 people in your second level. You're gonna start making a lot of money. And then the same with level 3. It doesn't seem like a lot, $30 a month, but let's say you have 125 people and let's say all of them only make one sale. You still are making 30 times 120. You're still making $3,000 off of your third level. And that's if they only made one sale each every month. And then you get paid that every month over and over again. It just starts piling up on top of each other. Now that we talked about how much you get paid and how to start building a team so you start getting paid a lot, let's talk about how you get paid. Okay, the delivery system of your paychecks. So how do you get paid? Question you might be asking, how do I get paid? It's real simple. We pay through PayPal. All right. The reason why is because it's faster than regular checks. It's faster than direct deposit, and you can direct deposit into your own account. Either way, like if I have to direct deposit into your account, it's going to take 3 days. If you have to direct deposit into your account, it's going to take 3 days. But I can send it to you on PayPal. You can pay your bills through PayPal, a lot of them anyways, through major retailers. And then again, if you go to a major retailer like Home Depot, Walmart, places like that, if you have the PayPal app on your phone, you can also pay for it through there. But be careful that you don't have it open too long while you're in line. You might pay for somebody else's stuff. You don't want to do that. PayPal's actually got a really good app on the phone that prevents a lot of that kind of stuff. That was the problem with Apple Pay at first, right? Was you're accidentally paying, you're at Walgreens and you're paying for somebody else's stuff. PayPal's has a better verification system so that you don't end up doing that. So sign up for PayPal to receive your paycheck. It says it real big right there. I'm going to go through how to sign up on PayPal if you don't already have a PayPal. If you have a PayPal, this is going to be really redundant and really boring. So just stick with me. It's going to take a few slides just to get through it. It's pretty self-explanatory. If you know how to computer at all, you'll know how to do this. So first things first, you're going to go to paypal.com. You can even type in https://www.paypal.com, but I think if you just type in paypal.com, that'll work too. This will be the first page that you come up on. You're going to want to click that sign up button. I put it in red right there. Click here to get signed up. That doesn't make any sense, but click there to get signed up. The next page that it'll bring you to is, and don't do this right now. Like I said, this webinar is going to be posted in the training portal. So if you do decide to sign up with Monarch Social, It will be posted in there, so you can go back and look at all the stuff that I talked about. Take as many notes as you want. You can always go back through it. This whole slide deck is also going to be uploaded into the training portal. It'll be broken up into pieces so that you don't have to go through 45 slides just to get what you want out of it. So this will be the next page that you get to. This page, you're going to want to click personal account. You can pick business account if you want. I can send you money either way on either one. Not a big deal. But we'll go with personal account. Then you're going to click the continue button. Once you click the continue button, it's going to prompt you to fill out these 4 things right here. Okay, so once you fill those 4 things out, your email, confirm the email, create the password, and confirm your password. This is really important. Okay, you want to pick an email that your primary email. Okay, you want to pick a primary email. The reason is because you're going to send me that email that you sign up with. That way I can pay you. If I don't have the email that you signed up with, then I can't pay you. If you can't access PayPal because you can't remember what email you signed up under, and you can't remember your login information, it's going to be hard for you to receive your money. Okay, so make sure it's something that you can access all the time, PayPal. Use the right email, and make sure it's an email that you use a lot, because you'll get notifications through PayPal that I've paid you. Okay, I don't want you to not get paid, so make sure that you sign up the right way. All right, so once you do that, it's going to take you here. It's going to ask you for your legal first name. Put your legal first name on there. If your name is Catherine and you go by Katie, put in Catherine. If you put in your legal last name as well, okay? It's really important you do that. That way you can actually put in your proper information later on, and I'll show you that on the next slide. But fill all this out to what it says. I don't think it'll let you go on if you don't. And then you're going to want to click that button there, and then you want to hit the agree and create account button. It'll take you to this page. Ask you to link your card. If you don't want to link a card to it, you can link your card to it, and that'll help you pay with your PayPal app more. You can do that. I don't have mine hooked up there. I just keep money in PayPal if I want to use my PayPal app. So I clicked I'd rather link my bank account first. You want to link your bank account though. Okay, the reason you want to link your bank account is that way you can direct deposit the money from PayPal into your bank account. I'm not going to do that. I don't want your bank account information. PayPal's going to have it, and you can just link your bank account. I'll send you the money to PayPal. You can do whatever you want with the money from there. And like I said, once you ACH or direct deposit the money to your bank account, it is going to take 3 to 5 business days. Usually takes 2. To be honest, 3 at the most. I've never seen it go 4 or 5. Okay, and just like I said, it'd be the same as if I did it for you. If I direct deposit it to you, it'll get to you on the same day. However, I'm just going to give you the money quicker through PayPal. All right, so you have access to your money just a little bit quicker. And then it's going to take you to this page. Your new account is ready to use. You can go to your account and do all that stuff. You can go shopping. You can sell something on eBay. You can transfer money to a friend or whatever you need to do. You can add money to your account, whatever it is. I don't care what you do with your PayPal account. All I want to do is pay you through it. So there's some important steps that you need to know. There's some important steps you need to know about your PayPal account. You need to know that I send my payments through PayPal. I've said it quite a few times, but I send my payments through PayPal. Okay, so to get your paycheck, you need to be on PayPal, and then this is the next thing you need to do. You need to verify your email address that you registered with PayPal. Okay, you need to verify that what the email address that you signed up with is the email address that you can use all the time. The next thing is I need you to send an email to me at brandon@monarchsocialmkg.com with the subject line reading PayPal email, exactly how it looks right there. Okay. If you don't send it with this subject line, PayPal email. Okay, PayPal email. I'm gonna say it one more time, PayPal email. If you don't send it to that, it's not gonna go to the right folder. I'm not gonna see it. You're not gonna get paid. Okay, if you want to get paid, type it in the right way. And then the last thing, the body of your email should read as follows: your name. That's going to be your first. I want it to say your name and then your name and last name, first and last name. The area you'll be working in. I work in Austin, so we'll be working in the Austin area. If you are in Austin, if you're in Houston, Dallas, I think that's where all we're at right now. So Houston, Dallas area, go ahead and type that in there. And then PayPal email. The email that you just verified in step number 1, I want it to be put in right here. I want it to be name, area, PayPal email. It makes it easier for me to put it into the spreadsheet that I use to pay people. I keep a tally of your sales and what kind of sales they are, so that way I know how much to pay everybody. Okay? If you don't do it that way, it's going to be hard for me to pay you. And listen, I want to pay you guys. Okay? So make sure you're going to get paid. If you don't do it right, it'll get lost in emails. I get at least 500 emails a day. There's no way I'm going to be able to go through and make sure. I might lose your email. So make sure that you put that in the subject line so it goes to the right folder. All right, enough on that. I'm going to tell you what days you get paid on. Okay. Here's a calendar, pretty simple calendar. We're going to, let me get the right pen color here. Okay. Let's say you get started on this Monday right here. All right. You get started on that Monday and you make a sale on Tuesday. You make another sale on Wednesday and you make another sale on Friday. Okay. On Saturday, I process all of these sales. Okay. I process all of those sales. And then on Sunday, I send the payment out. Okay, and then let's say Monday you get a sale, Tuesday you get a sale, Wednesday you get a sale. You get a sale every day this week. Saturday I'll process all 5 of these sales, and Sunday I'll pay you for all 5 of those sales. Okay, what I mean by processing is I'm making sure that the customer actually paid. They didn't, get a card declined or something like that. And that's that's after you make your first sale. Okay, so notice how I'm going to do it again. You made these 3 sales, you get processed on this day for these 3 sales, and then you get, here, I'll make a money sign, paid on these days. Sundays are paydays, and it comes in through PayPal, and that's why I like using PayPal. Where else are you going to make a sale on a Friday and get paid for it on a Sunday? It's just not going to happen anywhere else. I've worked in sales for 7 years. Every time I get paid, it's about a week behind. So if I made this sale on Friday, if I made a sale on that Friday, I don't get paid until this Friday. So this Friday to this Friday. But we pay you 2 days after your last sale. All right. And then talk about the residual checks. The residual checks are paid on the first Sunday after the first. So here's the first of the next month. You get paid on this Sunday down here for all of the sales of this month, right? Actually, scratch that. You get paid on all sales from the 15th and earlier. If the customer pays, this is getting kind of silly. If the customer pays on the 15th or earlier, then they'll pay their first check on the 1st. If they get paid on the 15th, on the 16th or later, then they pay the next month on the 1st. Okay, so You still get paid your first paycheck, but you won't get their residual paycheck until the next month. So they don't get paid from the 16th through the 31st on this example until not this first, but the next first. Okay, and then you'll get your check the Sunday following that first. It's very confusing. You'll get into the groove of it. If you have any questions or think you didn't get paid, go ahead and tell your sponsor, and the sponsors know how to get with me. If you got emails from me about joining and signing up, then I'm your sponsor, okay? Whoever is the person who brought you into the business, that's your sponsor. Get with them. I want to make sure everybody gets paid. I don't want any mess ups. But if there is a mess up and you don't get paid, I'm sure we can resolve it pretty quickly. Again, we pay through PayPal. So it happens really quickly. I can fix it and get you paid within the day. All right. I don't want anybody missing bills or anything like that. So make sure that if you're having an issue and you think you're supposed to get paid, bring it up with your sponsor. All right. So again, I know there's a lot of rules and it can be overwhelming. This slide is going to be put on the training portal. That way you know exactly what it is that you need to do, so that way you can get paid. Now we're going to get into the fun stuff, the sales training. If you feel like at this point Monarch Social is not for you, that you don't feel like making 60 grand a month just hiring 5 people, that you don't want to be a part of a get rich quick scheme, go ahead and log off now. You can turn it off. You can go away. If you feel like you want to stay, I'm going to teach you exactly what it takes to make sales with Monarch Social, and then also what the process is to get started making sales. You can get started making sales as early as today. You can go out tomorrow on Saturday and go out on Sunday. You can go out whenever you want. This is your business. I don't know if I mentioned that before, but you're not, for your first 30 sales, you're going to be an independent contractor to me. After you made your 30 sales, your independent contract is up. You become an independent business owner at that point, and I'll teach you how to start your own business, where to register your business at, and how to do all that. It doesn't cost a lot of money to get started, and you don't even have to do it until you feel comfortable with starting your own business. You can start hiring people right away, okay? But after your first 30 sales, you start hiring people. It becomes a lot of fun. The quarterly meetings that we have, I call them meetings. They're more like parties. They're going to be a lot of fun. Okay, so make sure that if you want to stick around, go ahead and stick around. If you don't feel like having fun at the parties, if you feel like making a lot of money is not for you, you want to go back to flipping burgers, go ahead and do that. But anybody who wants to make money, go ahead and stay on the line. We'll give them a minute to get off, and I'm going to drink some water. All right. We're going to get started on the sales training. This sales training is intended to be a crash course to get you out in the field. Okay. It's not meant to be a full-on sales. Like, I can't teach you everything I know about sales in this short amount of time. Trying to get through this pretty quick, trying to get done in the next 30 minutes. So I don't want to keep you on here for too long and make you lose interest. This is, like I said, crash course. Get you out in the field, get you selling, start making money, okay? We do a sales webinar every Monday at 10:30 in the morning, okay? A sales webinar every Monday at 10:30 in the morning, okay? And we're going to do an opportunity meeting. So once you make your 30 sales, we're going to start doing opportunity meetings every Tuesdays. Every Tuesday at 10:30 in the morning, we do our opportunity meeting. This right now is also an opportunity meeting. I had a huge influx of people asking to get into the business. I didn't want to wait till Tuesday to do that, so we're doing it today. So without further ado, let's get into the sales training. This is what I love. I love getting into it. It's going to be a lot of fun. I want to stress, though, the most important of all of these sales tactics and techniques is number one, your mindset. And I'm gonna teach you how to create a awesome mindset that's gonna get you motivated and making money. So by now, if you haven't noticed, I like money, and if you're watching this, I'm hoping that you do too, and you're trying to make more money. So right now, I'm going to do a quick lesson from or a quick exercise from a book by Napoleon Hill, Think and Grow Rich. If you haven't read that book, go ahead and read it. It's very, very good. A lot of rich people have read this book and and use its tactics and techniques to get ahead in life. So with mindset, you want to make sure that you're determined to get what you want, and you know exactly what it is that you want. So Napoleon Hill's Think and Grow Rich, he has an exercise that has 6 steps on how to do those 2 things. The first step is you need to fix in your mind the exact amount of money you desire. Okay? Fix in your mind the exact amount of money you desire. What I want you to do is pull out a pen and paper if you don't have one out already, or pull out your phone and start taking notes. I want you to write all these out, and then when we're done with the training, I want you to go back and do the exercise. Okay? It'll really refresh the way that you think and change your mindset on everything. So first, fix your mind to the exact amount of money that you desire. It's not enough to just say, I want a lot of money, man. Be definite to the amount. Say, I want $800,000 in my bank account. Okay. When I did this, mine was $1 million. I want $1 million. All right. Second, determine exactly what you intend to give in return for the money you desire. Okay. Nothing in life is free, right? So second, determine exactly what you intend to give in return for the money you desire. What that means is you can't just have money. No one's just going to give you money. You have to exchange something for it, right? So in our case, we help you out by giving you a business to start. So you'll be exchanging social media management services. Okay. So third, establish a definite date when you intend to possess the money you desire. I don't care when the date is. Maybe you said $100,000 and you said 3 months from now. Let that be it. Or you said $1 million 6 months from now. Let that be it. All right. Whatever the amount of money it is that you want, it has to have a definite date, or else you'll never achieve the goal. Fourth, you need to create a plan for carrying out the desire and begin at once. Again, we've kind of given you an idea of a plan and a plan of action to get going, and it's the business that we're talking about right now. All right, now fifth, this is the most important. You need to write out a clear and concise statement of the amount of money you intend to require. Name the limit, or name the time limit for its acquisition. State what you intend to give in return for the money, and describe clearly the plan through which you intend to accumulate it. I call this my Declaration of Independence, because you're trying to gain financial and time independence. That means that with this business, our whole goal is to provide you with a lifestyle that gives you time and money freedom. If you can have financial and time freedom, your life will be so much more enriched. Now, the sixth step of all this is to read your written statement out loud twice a day. Do it just before going to bed and just before you wake up. And as you read it, I need you to see and feel and believe yourself already in possession of the money. It's very simple exercise that you do twice a day, but it's very, very powerful. I read mine about 10 times in a row. I lay down on the couch in my office and with the lights out and just kind of use it as a meditation. And once you hit your goal, go ahead and do it again and set another goal. So it's a real fun practice, and I hope if you do it right, you should be able to get a lot out of it. All right, so that's enough on mindset. We took about 10 minutes on that, but it is a very important part of this. I do want to talk about dress code. You are in your own business, but you are an independent contractor of mine while you're out in the field selling. So what I want to be sure that you understand is a dress code. Okay, so again, back to the no fun zone, but we'll try to make this quick. It's pretty self-explanatory. Guys, you just need to dress professionally. If you're going out business to business, dress like you would if you were going to work at the nicest place that you go and visit. Okay, suits are good for men and ladies, and as you can see here, I outlined pretty simple dress code. Gentlemen, button-up shirt, necktie, slacks, dress shoes. No deviation from that, okay? You can put, a nice pea coat over the button-up shirt. You can put, if it's cold outside, you can put a blazer on over the button-up. But we need to have neckties on, and we need to have button-up shirt. For ladies, we need slacks or knee-level skirts or lower than knee-level skirts, but nothing higher than knee-level. A non-revealing blouse. We can't have the super low-cut hanging blouse. We just need to be tactful, okay? And closed-toed shoe. Some people don't like to see people's toes, and we're just trying to please every client that we go through, okay, that we talk to. So we don't want to offend anybody. So that also means no shorts, okay, no unprofessional looking jackets or coats. So like the big starter jackets that have like the Phoenix Suns on there, we're not wearing those. We're not wearing bright red stuff, okay, something that looks decent that you would wear to church, okay? If you're going to church, wear that at your grandma's church, not the new progressive church, but at your grandma's church. We're going to cover up our tattoos. I understand you're expressing yourself. I have a sleeve, but we need to cover up our tattoos. And again, no smoking where customers can see you. I used to be a smoker. I understand that you need to smoke. Do it in your car. If you don't like smoking in your car, drive around to an alley somewhere and do your smoke break there. But don't smoke in the parking lot of somebody's business. Okay. Just use your common sense and don't do stupid stuff, and you'll be all right. And now remember, this isn't for me. This dress code isn't to make my company look better. This dress code is to make this dress code is to help you make more sales. Okay, so we're done with the no fun zone. Let's go back to sales, and we're going to talk about the law of averages. All right, so the law of averages, something you need to know about law of averages before we get into it. These numbers are based off starting basic sales knowledge. So if you don't know anything about sales except for what I'm teaching you today, these numbers are what will ring true. As you get better, these numbers will get better as well. So the law of averages states, if you speak to 100 gatekeepers, and we'll go over what a gatekeeper is in a little bit, but if you speak to 100 gatekeepers, you will make, and made another typo there, it says you will make speak with 10 decision makers. Should say you will speak with 10 decision makers. So that's 10%. As you get better, you should be able to bring that up to 20 to 30%. My gatekeeper to decision maker ratio is 30%. So if I talk to 100 gatekeepers, I should talk to 30 decision makers. Okay. So my goal, so your goal should be to talk to 100 gatekeepers a day. So that way you can make one sale a day. Rule number 2 of the law of averages is if you speak to 10 decision makers, you should make one sale. All right. And that leads into our sales funnel. As you can see, imagine there's 100 little people in here on the top of this sales funnel. Okay. You talk to 100 gatekeepers. That's what GK stands for. You talk to 100 gatekeepers, and they allowed you to talk to 10 decision makers. Okay. Out of those 10 decision makers, you made one sale, and that's day 1. Now, day 2, you should be able to talk to 100 new gatekeepers, but you should be able to talk to the same 10 or the same 9 decision makers that you didn't make a sale to yesterday, plus 10 new decision makers, because you talked to 100 new gatekeepers this day, right? So you still want to keep talking to the decision makers that are still here. And you're going to talk to gatekeepers and decision makers 3 times. Once you don't make a sale 3 times at that business, you're going to stop talking to them. We'll talk about that more in our sales training later. That's part of the work territory properly portion. But you should only talk to them 3 times. You don't need to keep bugging them after that. So you should be able to make 2 sales after that, right? Because now you're talking to 19 people, and 1.9 would be 10% of 19. Should be able to make 2 sales. Some days you might not, some days you will. It's not really going to be more than 19 people, decision makers to talk to. There's just not enough time in the day to get there. So that's about it for law of averages and sales funnel. Again, if you have questions about that, talk to your sponsor. If I'm your sponsor, go ahead and talk to me. Send me an email. Make sure your subject line describes clearly what it is you're intending to ask me, or else it might get lost in the mix. If it sounds generic, I might not even look at it, all right? So now I want to talk about the 4 impulse factors. And it's important to note that the 4 impulse factors play a big role in sales techniques all over the world, and for pretty much all salespeople. I just gave them names. I got this from a company I used to work for, but they work very well. And these are used to persuade a stubborn customer. That's basically anyone who says no, which is basically everybody you talk to. So the first one's going to be the Jones effect. The Jones effect's exactly what it sounds like. It's based off of jealousy and keeping up with the Joneses. We've all heard of keeping up with the Joneses. It's when your neighbor's got 3 cars, like this guy does here, and this guy wants 3 cars now, so he's going to have to get one with a big, huge grill like that. It looks like kind of like a futuristic Bentley, and then he's going to have to get his Miata, and then his Porsche right here doesn't equate to 3 of those. And this guy's probably jealous of this guy's Porsche, so he's going to buy another car and probably add another garage to his house. But seriously, keeping up with the Joneses is very strong. In a sale, it might sound something like, a lot of people in the area started using our services, and they really like what they saw. It's when you're Yelp. Yelp is a huge Jones effect. We help people with Yelp so they can Jones effect others. So like, you go on Yelp and you say people like it. It's word of mouth, Jones effect. I ate at this place, you didn't. So if you see your friend ate there, that's the kind of thing you want to go through. I may have just muddled that up very badly, but just keep in mind the Jones effect is trying to make somebody jealous of somebody else. So like I said, if you're talking to somebody, talking to a business, hey, a lot of your competitors are using us. They seem to think that when they use us, their sales go up a lot, 10 to 20%. If you'd like to be like them and make your 10 to 20%, go ahead and use us. If you don't, no big deal. That last piece of what I said is called indifference. It's basically like saying you don't care. You're going to say to them, go ahead and sign up. If you sign up, that's great. If not, no hair off my back. I've already signed up a lot of people, and then you go back into your Jones effect. The next 2 I like to equate with QVC. QVC uses these very, very well. Fear of loss. So they put a timer up on the side, right, on QVC. Anybody watch QVC or the Home Shopping Network? You'll notice they have a clock up on the side. You have 10 minutes to order, or else you lose the deal. And then they also put a quantity of how many they have to give away. So they got 10 minutes to give away 10. And if you're not one of the first 10 to call in and buy it, then you lose out on the deal. That's what fear of loss is. And if for us, it's going to be more like a time thing. And that ties in with develop a sense of urgency. That's also that clock on QVC. For us, it would sound something like, hey guys, I understand that you guys may not want it right now, but the best deal that you can get is right now. Or something like, I'm only in town for a couple of days. I don't like using it. I usually don't need to use sense of urgency, but it is very powerful. I usually just stick with Jones effect and indifference. The reason indifference works is because the attitude that you don't care whether or not they sign up means that makes a difference. Like in their mind, they think that this guy's already made enough sales. He's obvious. This obviously must be a good product if he's making all these sales, and it doesn't matter if I buy from him or not. So make sure that you keep that indifference. Don't be too desperate. When you start getting desperate, people start realizing that he may not be telling 100% the truth here about his product. All right, we're going to talk about the 5 steps to the sale. I'm trying to start speeding this up. I know we only got like 10 minutes left. I knew I only wanted to make this an hour long. So 5 steps to the sale. First step is to engage. What that means is you just need to smile, greet the gatekeeper, and talk with enthusiasm. Use your hands. Start pointing to stuff around the office. Be the life of the party. We'll talk more about all of these things in other webinars. Like I said, we have training webinars every Monday at 10:30, and I'm just trying to give you an idea of how to use these. All right, so you just want to smile, greet them, and talk with enthusiasm. Like I said, a big smile goes a long way. And we've got to identify the difference between gatekeepers and decision makers during the engaged portion of the sale. So that way we don't waste too much time pitching the wrong person. So if we're talking to a gatekeeper, that's usually going to be the person that's sitting in the front, a receptionist type person, not the decision maker. The decision maker is a person who actually makes the decisions, silly enough as it sounds, right? The best way for me to get past a gatekeeper that I've realized, there's 2 big ways that I do it. The first one is I'll walk up, I'll smile, I'll be like, hey, how's it going? My name's Brandon. I work for a company called Monarch Social, and we help small to mid-sized businesses manage your social media, and we also help them make money through marketing on social media. Now, are you the person that takes care of all that, or do I need to talk to somebody else? And usually, I would say about 40% of the time, the gatekeeper will say, this is the person, so-and-so is the person who takes care of that. The next step in the process of, after she says, Bill's the one who takes care of that, I'll say, okay, well, can you go grab him for me real quick? And I'll turn around before she has a chance, or before they have a chance to answer, I'll turn around and go sit down in the waiting room and just pull out my phone and pretend like I'm playing on it. That's called assuming the sale. I'm making them, go get him. The thing you have to understand about gatekeepers is that they're usually hired to do work for other people. They're usually hired to be told what to do. So if I tell them what to do, they're more than likely going to go and do it. We're going to, once they go and get Bill or bring us back to Bill, the person who makes the decisions, we're going to start on step 2. It's called tell a short story. You're not really just telling a short story. You're basically saying the same thing you said before, but now we're going to go into the discovery stage. We're going to reduce skepticism. And we're also going to build the impulse to buy. And we'll talk about those a little bit more right now. So to reduce skepticism, I like to just be happy and confident. A lot of other companies like to name drop who their clients are and stuff like that. That works, but we're such a small company that we use small to mid-sized businesses. It doesn't really work that way. So you might want to drop a Jones effect in here. Say, hi, my name is Brandon Berger. I'm the sales rep in the area. And for Monarch Social, tell them exactly what it is that you're doing. Don't be shady and don't be afraid to tell them you're a salesperson. Okay? That reduces skepticism if you're upfront and honest with them. Now, a lot of people will respect that. Be happy and confident. Like I said, my name is Brandon. I work for a company called Monarch Social, and we're just here in the area helping the local community out with small to mid-sized businesses, helping them get on track with their social media. Now, I was told you're the person who handles that. Is that true? Now you're going to start discovering if you're going to start qualifying them, and they're going to start qualifying you, and you'll start noticing if you're a good fit for them, and if they're a good fit for us. Okay, you're also going to want to start building the impulse to buy, and that's where we use the Jones effect there, where we're helping a lot of people in the area, just like yourself, small to mid-sized businesses, with their social media. But you don't want to try to close too early here. You're just trying to build a little bit of an impulse to buy. Start question selling, and I'll print out or type out a big list of questions that you can ask during this part and put it on the training portion as well. I didn't think about that until just now, but you can ask a bunch of questions like, hey, do you guys use social media? If you do, what do you use it for? Those kinds of questions. Who does the social media for you in the office? If they use somebody in the office, if they use somebody else, one of our competitors, ask them who it is, and if we can, help them out better than our competitors. Just a backstory on us, we do offer a lot more than our customers, but we are also priced a lot higher than our customers. That way we can pay you guys more. Don't be afraid of us being costing more. We do offer a lot more than our competitors. And again, we're going to qualify them by asking questions, use question-based selling to discover. And once we identify something that clicks that we can sell them on, then we'll go to step 3, the present portion. All right. And when we present, we want to keep it short and simple, and we want to paint a compelling picture of the customers, paint a compelling picture as if the customer was in business with Monarch Social. Okay. So keep it short and simple. We don't want to, lose their interest by talking too much. We want to paint a compelling picture. And that could sound something like this. Let's say we're talking to Bill and he's a restaurant owner. Hey, Bill, what do you use for, you told me that you don't use social media too much. Now, I want you to picture your best day and I want you to picture your worst day. Okay, let's first talk about your worst day. Let's say it's a Tuesday, it's slow, you're having to cut waiters, and everything's done at 7:30. All your dishes are clean. You got cooks just sitting there watching TV. You're not making any money. What's your biggest problem you have on those nights? And then they give you a problem. And then you talk about their best night. Let's say it's Friday night, you're ripping and roaring. What kind of problems are you having on those nights? And he might say something like, the drawer is empty. We don't have enough money to give cash back to people. I have a line of people outside the door getting cold, get out in the cold. I can't turn tables fast enough. And I don't have enough people. We're short-staffed tonight. So those sound like problems that you might want to have every night. And he might say something like, yeah. And you say, well, would it be nice if those were problems you had every night? Yeah. And and if I could help you do that, do you think you'd be doing business with us? And now I've gone into the close of the sale, right? I've asked him to do business with us. If we can help you do that, do you think that you would do business with us? That's the closing question that I asked. And when we close the sale, the whole time we're talking to him, though, we want to be looking and listening for buying signs, okay? And then we're going to use even though I asked him very nicely, if we can help you increase your sales or make those problems your problems every night, do you think you'd do business with us? He might say, yeah, but, and then give you an objection. And with objections, I like to use what's called the art of closing an objection. That means we're going to agree, reply, and transition. And we're going to use the racetrack of closing. And we call it the racetrack of closing because we want to overcome the objection, and we're on a race with the customer to the sale. Either he's going to sell us or we're going to sell him. And this is a marathon. Okay, so we're going to keep going until he says yes. So he gives an objection, right? He says, I'm not sure about the price. And you say something like, hey, I completely understand. This is your agree portion. I completely understand. It is quite a bit of money, and it's hard to part with that much money. I get it. But a lot of and then we'll start, impulsing them. I like to use the Jones effect here. I like to use the Jones effect a lot, but we'll use the Jones effect here too. A lot of your competitors started using services just like ours, and they're starting to get a leg up on you on social media. And then we transition into a close, right? And they're starting with our reply. We'll say something like that, and then we'll go into the close, and we'll say, or transition into the close, and we'll say, a lot of your competition started using services just like ours, and they're starting to pull away from you in social media. What that translates to is that you're going to start losing business because they're going to start taking your business. Now, what we can do for you is get you an increase of 10 to 20% on your sales every month. Now, would you do business with us if we can increase your sales to 10 to 20% every month, and get you those problems that you're having on your good nights every night? Would you do business with us then? And then you want to assume the sale. So after you say something like that, you want to assume the sale by saying, if we can increase your sales by 10 to 20%, and if we could get you, and if we can make your busiest nights problems your every night's problems, you'd do business with us then, right? That's assuming the sale, asking them they would do business with us then, right? So whose name will the account be under, and what's the email address? What's a good email address for you? When we start filling out the sales form, that's when we start assuming the sale, right? So we're at the sales form, we start asking them the sales form questions, and the sales form, I'll show you how to get to it here in a second. Step 5 is follow through. We need to make sure that we're following through on all of our customers. That way it's important for your residual sales, basically. If they know that you're interested in them and that you want to keep them around as a customer, then they'll keep paying and you'll keep getting paid. All right. Follow through can be something as easy as a phone call. You can drop by their office, make sure they're doing all right while you're out in the field, or you can even just drop them an email or even a greeting card. Any of those things work really, really well for follow through. All right, the next thing I want to talk about, 6 habits of super sales people. We're going to jump through this real quick. These are pretty straightforward. There's one part in here, work territory properly, that's going to take a few minutes, but it's very important that you do that. That way you can hit every business in your area. You will be assigned an area based on where you live. So without further ado, here we go. 6 habits of a super salespeople. The first one is assertiveness. That does not mean aggression. That means taking control of the conversation, but not bullying a customer into talking about what you're doing. And we'll talk about that a lot more in other webinars. But just know that does not mean just, but use the art of closing. That's how you that's how you can be assertive and take control of the conversation and direct the conversation the way you want it to go. The second one is work your territory properly. All right, so we're going to look at a map here. This is a map of my area, and I'm going to use a pin. So if I'm coming south on 183 right here, okay, I come up to this road. I need to make a right on this road, right? And then I need to work all the right side of this. It's called the rule of rights. And then I'm going to make a right here and work the right side of this. After I'm done making a right there, I'm out of my territory. So I'm going to come back around and go and pass this one I already made a right on and come all the way down to this road and make a right on that road. And then I'm going to work the right side of this road. I'm going to make another right here and work the right side of that. And then I'm going to come down right here and work the right side of this. So now I've worked both sides of the road on this road right here. I'm going to come back around and make my next right over here, right? And keep going around and so on and so forth, all the way down. Every right that you can make, you make it. And then if you've already worked that area, you skip it. If you already worked the right side of that one road, then you skip it. Okay? Pretty simple, self-explanatory. Just keep making rights. As long as you're inside your territory, just keep making rights. And keep working the right side of the road. Another skill set that you need to have is problem solving. During the discovery portion of the sale, you're going to find the pain point for the customer. And then during the presentation, you need to solve it. So during the short story, you need to find the problem that the customer has. And during the presentation, you need to solve that problem. Give them the solution to their problem. Okay, based on what you told me, I recommend this product because based on what you told me, I recommend the Social Butterfly product because you told me that you're afraid of losing customers to your competition, and you think that social media is the way to go for it. You expressed to me that if I can improve your sales by 20%, that you would do business with us, and a social butterfly is the best way for us to get you 20% on your sales. Okay, so that's the way you can find the problem during a short story, and then solve it during the presentation. Goal setting. We already talked about mindset and how to set goals. If you don't set your goals, you'll never achieve, you'll never climb the highest mountain like this guy. It's kind of corny, but yeah, if you don't set your goals properly, you'll never achieve them, okay? The next one is persistence. Let's say you have a bad couple of days just to start off with. Don't give up. You'll start getting it. When I tell you, if you talk to 100 gatekeepers and use all of these different tactics that I gave you, if you talk to 100 a day, you're make a sell a day. And you can go out there and talk like I'm talking today, and just and just spew nonsense out at people and still make a sell a day if you go and hustle. You have to do it. All right. And then the last one is be productive. That doesn't mean busy. Studies have shown that focusing on one objective at a time can yield a much greater result than trying to multitask. The human brain wasn't intended to multitask, guys. Go out there, focus on what you need to do, and accomplish your goal, and do it one step at a time, okay? Once you accomplish one thing, you'll be able to go through and accomplish the next. All right, I'm gonna start wrapping it up here. If you guys are still interested and want to go through this, let's go ahead and I'm going to teach you how to sign up for Monarch Social on the website. All right, so you're going to go to Monarch Social. Hold on, let me get my laser. You're going to go to Monarch Social, MKG, that's Mike Kilo Golf. Monarch Social, Mike Kilo Golf.com. You go there, this is the screen that pops up. All right. Once that screen pops up, you're going to go and click right here, log in and register. Once you've logged in, once you click that, you're going to click the register button right here. Okay, you can do this on your iPhone or whatever. It works for the mobile site as well. It looks a little bit different. I think these are stacked instead of sideways, but you're going to click the register button. Once you click the register button, it'll give you this form to fill out. Fill out the form, email, log in. Your login, just put your name, put your first name, and then your last initial. I don't care if it's capitalized or not, but first name, last initial, okay? If it says that's no good, first name, last initial, and then a number. Just start with one and start working your way up. It just helps me with the pay process as well, if I can find you in the system. And then your password, whatever you want your password to be. I think I don't know if there's a big limit to it or not. Once you do that, it'll say thank you for your registration, and it'll give you your login and password. So your login will be your name and your last initial, or your name, your last initial, and then your number. So like if your name is John Smith and it says John S, and you might be John S3, it'll say John S3, and it'll give you your password too. So whatever you wrote your password down, it'll show up here. You're gonna click this button right here, log in here button. Once you click that, it'll bring you to this screen right here. I blacked out, it had my name, my login and password here, but put your login and your password here. I would click remember me and hit enter. Okay, once you hit enter, it'll take you to the sales hub. This is your hub for training and completing sales. This is the training portal right here. If you click that, it'll take you to the training portal. I don't know if there's much in there right now, but like I said, by the end of the day today, I will have updated it with everything you need to make the sales. And then right here is the make a sale. The next part I'm going to talk to you about is how to make the sale. This is going to be real quick. If you need to go back through, I'm going to post this on the training portal later today. All right. Also, okay, so also you'll be able to access this video on our on our YouTube channel, and I will give you the YouTube channel name here in a second. So to make a sale, you click that make a sale button, bam, or you can go to the website and do it like you would be if you were a customer. You're going to click any of this part right here. It says this is our product, Monarch Social, from $349.99. Once you click that, it'll bring you to this page. You're going to click whatever coverage option that the customers agreed to, right? So you recommended that they get the butterfly. Go ahead and click butterfly and click the purchase button. Click the purchase button. Once you click the purchase button, it'll bring you here. Fill out the contact info. It'll ask you to hit a button to continue, and then it'll pull up this thing. Everything with an asterisk you got to fill out. Business name, preferred work number. You're asking the customer for all this, okay? So what's the business name here? And who should I be calling? And what's the preferred work number for them? What's the best time to call you so that I'm not interrupting you while you're at work? And then go ahead and put your name, okay? Your full name, first and last name. First name first, last name last. Go ahead and put it right here in this part. This is how we know who to pay. Once you click the order, it's going to send me and about 13 other people an email. This is how we know who to pay. Okay, if you don't do it, then we won't know who to pay. Again, I want to make sure everybody gets paid. It ran a little bit longer than I wanted to, and like I said, I wanted to do this in an hour. We went an hour and about 12 minutes, so I'm going to end it here. I'm going to do a product knowledge slide deck and put it in the training portal. Product knowledge is pretty self-explanatory, but I'll do a video as well to put it on product knowledge and put it on the training portal. And every webinar that we do will be posted to the training portal. All the slide decks of all the stuff that you need to know will be put on the training portal. So if you want to go back through, you can go back and go on our YouTube channel, which is hold on, let me find it. I got to click through and find it. Sorry, give me 1 second.
Okay. You done?
If you type in Monarch Social into Google and search for us on there, you'll find our channel and our videos on there. Go ahead and go on there if you want to look at this again. All right, and like I said, that's it for us for today. We'll be doing a webinar again on Monday, and then another one on Tuesday, and then every Monday and Tuesday after that, we'll be doing them at 10:30. We'll do the opportunity meetings on Monday, and then we'll do the training meetings on Tuesday, and we'll go into dig into deeper depth on each process every Tuesday. Those will also be posted in the training portal, so that way we're not losing anything that we ever talk about. That being said, have a good day, and that's it for me for today.